Hi beauties, it is Cara the Bubble Lush. I've had some of you asking me, where are the weight loss vlogs? Have you just given up on them? And no, I have not. March was just insanely busy, and on the entire month of April it felt like somebody in my family was sick. So I just haven't had a chance to like sit down here and talk to you guys, and I actually really miss talking to you. So I have something to discuss with you today. A while back, I posted up a video that was talking about how I am a yoga class failure because I went to this weird yoga class that was just like not really yoga. Let me get comfy here. And so after that experience, I really still wanted to try yoga. So I found a Groupon, I found a studio, I walked in there, and it was this like beautiful light-filled studio, wall-to-wall windows. My class was at night actually. Well, the first one was in the morning and was beautiful and sun-filled, and then the second class I went to was at night, and you could just see like the lights, the twinkling lights of the city. Sprinkling lights, twinkling lights, either way, it was beautiful. And it was exactly what I envisioned yoga to be, as far as like atmosphere goes, right? It's very quiet and somber, and the yoga workout itself was like intense. It was hard, right? It was intense. And I discovered I hate yoga. I really do. And it's not that I don't like the workout. I actually really do like the workout. The only time I enjoyed myself in yoga was when it was done, because I was really proud of myself that I like made it through the class, because this is challenging, right? Like you're using muscles and core strength and everything that you don't necessarily use every day to that extent. And so it was hard, but I felt empowered at the end of the class. So I really liked that. I liked that aspect. The thing that I didn't like about yoga is that I felt like I had to apologize anytime I like laughed. Like they started the class saying like, you know, don't be too judgmental of yourself, or, you know, just kind of let all your expectations go and just, you know, work on moving through the positions and poses or whatever they're called. And so, but I just couldn't do that. Like I just couldn't. I'm the type of person that I like laugh at myself. I don't get like really hard on myself. I laugh at myself. But when I couldn't laugh about it, and it was all like internal, when I couldn't like quite get a pose, or when I was just felt like I was really awkward, I couldn't like laugh or giggle or, you know, make like a joke or anything like that. Like it was all of a sudden it switched to, you know, instead of making light of it, it was all internal. And then I just started getting like super negative and like judgmental about myself, even though that's the goal, not to do that. Chris, are you coming in? Hello? Oh, hi, Hanny. So, what are you doing here, sweetie?
I just want to go down the stuff.
Okay, can you go upstairs until I'm done filming?
Okay.
Okay, and then you can come down. Close the door. I will see you later. Okay, so because I couldn't express like, you know, frustration in like a funny way, I just internalized it all. And so the entire class, I was like beating myself up and then being like, no, you can't do that. And so I just couldn't ever relax and like get zen, because it's just not the way that I want to work out. Ultimately, that's just not the way I want to work out. In high school, I started playing tennis and volleyball. Well, I played volleyball before that, but high school tennis and volleyball were really big. And then in college, I did tennis, volleyball, rugby really competitively, and cheerleading. And so I really liked the like team aspect and the camaraderie of that. I liked playing like singles tennis, for example, because it was like really fast-paced and I could move around, but there was still like kind of teammates, but I could kind of do my own thing as well. So I think I would be happier, not necessarily just going to a gym and working out around people, because then I get a little like lost of what I'm supposed to do, but like maybe like either a class workout or kickboxing, something where it's like more fun. Right? Because the problem with tennis is that I can't do it by myself, and I've taken my husband to play tennis and we spend the whole time just retrieving balls that he's lobbed over the fence. And you can't really play volleyball by yourself, and I looked actually at community volleyball leagues because I did that after I graduated college. I like joined a league, but then none of them practice or have games on nights where my husband's not working. So like I would have to get a babysitter, and that's just way more effort than I want to put into it. So I think I'm gonna have to like find a gym class. I don't know, something to work that like, because I want exercise for me to be fun and something I look forward to doing. And frankly, I did not look forward to doing yoga at all. I look forward to it being over, and that's not the way I want to view exercise. So that's kind of where I am as far as like exercise goes. Also, we took a break from juicing for like 2 weeks. Like we didn't do it like super heavy just because we were getting a little burnt out. But this week we've started juicing back up again, and I think the break was actually really, really good because now I'm tasting the juices again and I'm like, oh, this is so good, and I can just like feel myself taking in like nutrients and getting healthy. And I know that a lot of you have left comments about like getting a Ninja and making smoothies versus juicing and blah, blah, blah. Do what works for you. Totally. I'm all for that. Do whatever works for you. Just like I just said with like yoga versus exercise classes, do what works for you and what makes you feel invigorated and awesome and happy and powerful. That's what this was all about. I know that we focus a lot on weight loss, and a lot of your comments and stuff have been about like weight loss and how my body is transitioning. But the thing is, I have a weight loss goal because I think that that's a really great way to mark your progress. But I also want to work on mentally feeling healthier and having a better body image. But also, I think once we become moms, sometimes we start feeling guilty if we do anything for ourselves. Or like if let's say we get a gift card for our birthday. My birthday's coming up, and like, so if I got a gift card, I would go to the mall or whatever, and I know that my first instinct would be to like, Hannah needs new shoes, and oh, William could use some socks, and oh my gosh, that shirt would be so cute on William, and this hat would be really cute on Hannah, and there would be like $5 left on the card, and I'd be like, oh, I can get myself a new pair of underwear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do anything. My first thought isn't to like splurge on myself. So I want to try to change that voice, not necessarily to splurge on myself, but to tell myself that it is okay to let myself be a priority. So that's really the goal of this year, is that making my health and my emotional well-being and everything a priority, not ahead of my children's necessarily, but like just right on par. That like I think that a healthy mom is a healthy family. Like, you have to have a healthy mom in order to have a healthy family. And if I'm getting burnt out, I know that I'm just going to be stressed, and I'm going to be angry mom. And I don't want to be angry mom. I want to be happy and fun and upbeat and an energetic mom. So that's the goal as well. Almost equally. Like, weight loss, super, super important, but also just mentally feeling great and embracing life and being happy, and doing whatever it takes to like get that, right? Because I'm so happy in my marriage. I'm so happy as a mom. And I just want to kind of try to find myself and find like a little happiness for myself as well. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I think if you're like a mom and I think sometimes you get it. You get it, right? Okay. So one thing I did take out of yoga is that I'm listening to this instructor, and I tried multiple different classes, and I tried different instructors, and seriously, it just wasn't for me. But one thing I liked about this certain instructor, probably the only thing I liked about her, is that she said this thing one time, and it was during this particularly difficult pose. I have no idea what it's called, but it was freaking awful. It was so intensely hard. And I was right about to just like go into child's pose and say like F it for the first time ever. I was just, I'm so frustrated in this class. And she said, I know that it's hard, but as soon as you want to give up, that's when your practice begins. And like, that's when the work and that's when the progress begins. As soon as you want to give up, but you don't, that's when you begin to grow. And so instead of like focusing on yoga at that moment, I was like, where's my camera? I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys so bad. So I've been like thinking about this for a really long time, and I wrote some notes. But it's just basically the thought of like, what do you do when you want to quit? Like, in that very moment, what do you do? Because the thing is, this is so obvious, but I think that we need to like think about it. Because if you quit, that's where your progress stops, right? Like, the second you don't make yourself a priority, or you don't make your diet a priority, and you're like, I'm just gonna eat a cookie, that's where your progress stops. And we always think that you can pick right back up and keep on working, and yes, that's true. But like, when you just quit, like when you're like done, right? And you're like, okay, I know I said I wanted to lose weight, but this was really, really hard, and I really like cookies and cake, and it's okay. Like, I can be this weight, and that's totally fine. And the thing is, I can, right? I'm fine. But I know that if I continue to lose weight, I'm going to be a healthier me, and that is a priority. And so I'm going to keep working at it. And it's going to be a lifelong thing, and but I'm going to do it because I'm worth it. So like when push comes to shove and when the negativity is like talking in your head and when it's telling you that it's not worth it, that this goal that you're working towards is not worth it, do you listen to that voice and stop all progress? Or do you tell it to shut up and you keep working towards your goal? Because that's really, when push comes to shove, that's when the work begins. When you no longer want to do it. That's when the work begins. I don't know. So I have a lot of work to do. I gotta get back into exercise. The weather all of a sudden is beautiful here in Oregon. I know it's just gonna start getting rainy here in a couple days, but it has been nice and hot and sunny, and the kids and I have gone to the splash park and run around and played on the playground, and I like totally cleaned out the refrigerator, totally cleaned it out, like seriously took everything out, wiped everything down, put it all, like took all of the expired or weird stuff out and only put back in the good food. And it's so refreshing. So if you are on a diet, I seriously consider doing that. Like clean out your refrigerator, literally clean it all out. And you know, put back the good stuff, and then you really see, like when you open up the fridge, you're not tempted by stuff, and all the clutter is gone, and food is just, I think when food is like presented beautifully, then we eat more consciously, and we're not just like gobbling it up. Because I know that I have a tendency like, okay, the kids, William's in the high chair and Hannah's at the table and I'm just gonna eat food real quick so I can like do the dishes. And I don't think about it, and then in like 15 minutes I'm hungry again. So I need to be more mindful about how I'm eating. And I think a part of that is like taking a moment to appreciate the food for what it is, like it's fuel for your body, and that you know, that you're feeding your body healthy food, and just appreciating that in the moment and really being conscious of what you're eating, consciously eating. That's really tough for me, and I think as moms, or like when you're busy working professionals, man, when I was working and on the go all the time, this was very, very hard for me. Or sitting at my desk and just like eating. That used to be a big thing when I was working a desk job. So it all comes down to just being aware of what you are doing. And then when the little voice gets too negative, telling it to shut up and reminding yourself that this goal that you're working towards is worth it. And that your progress, like continually working towards it, is worth this hard moment that you're in right now, and that it's going to get better. So as far as weight goes, I think I gained back like 2 pounds. That's not the end of the world to me. So I think we always expect weight loss to be like straight, but in actuality, it's like, it's fluid and it goes up and down, and sometimes we have really good weeks and sometimes we have a bad month. So yeah, so I'm just gonna rededicate myself and keep working towards this goal, and the beautiful weather of summer is only going to help. I can't wait. Our CSA boxes are gonna start soon. Do you guys get a CSA box, or do you go to like farmer's market and get your organic produce? We get a CSA box, so every Sunday, I think this year, we're gonna go and pick up a crate of locally grown organic food, and I am so excited. This is like the 4th or 5th year we've done it, and it's always delicious and perfect. And I'm actually really looking forward to this summer going to the farmer's market with the kids. William was he just screamed basically the entire summer. It wasn't very fun. So this summer, now that he is a little happier of a gentleman, he had colic really bad. And Hannah loves being out and about and meeting people, and she's just loves life. So I'm really excited to kind of like put him in the wagon and go to the farmer's market. So that's going to be kind of my goal this summer, is maybe not every week, but often to go to the farmer's market and see what they have, and just kind of get out and about and teach the kids about healthy eating and all that jazz. So thanks so much for bearing with me. I will be back to doing these a little more regularly. I've had a lot of requests for cooking vlogs, by the way, and I hear you, and I actually want to make them. The issue, and the reason why I don't make cooking vlogs more often, is that they are a ton of work. A ton of work. And usually what happens is Chris just gets home from work and he's like, all right, let's make dinner. And the kids are super excited to see him, so the energy level in the house is like through the roof. And so we're trying to cook and film, and there ends up being like maybe 20 clips that I have to edit together to make a nice quick cooking vlog for you guys. So it's a lot of work at a hectic time of the day, and so sometimes it's just not a priority. But I know that some of you are requesting them, and so I will try to make them more of a priority as well. Yes. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will still do the body shop. I'm not going to do one this week because I just don't feel like it. In the past, those videos that didn't include them, I still filmed them. So I have that footage, and kind of my goal for that is long term, is to kind of like slowly see the progress over time and maybe do a time lapse once we get towards the end of the year, maybe closer towards 50 pounds down. All right, thank you so much for your support and love. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below with how you have been doing. Check in with me. I'm interested to see what your progress is, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. But let's put weight loss aside for just a second. My actual big moment of the week was when I went to put my pants on and tighten up my belt, because I have to wear a belt now or my pants just fall off my butt. And I went to tighten up my belt. I'm using the smallest setting of my belt, and it's still loose. That's awesome. So anyways, that's my I don't even care about the 1.5 pounds I lost. I'm just glad that my belt is too big. My pants and my belt are too big. Woo-hoo!